Good afternoon, everyone. We're now in another episode of our podcast at the Monarch. And today we're at the house of one of our beloved partners and one of the best artists that we have at the Monarch, Mr. Richard Buksani. So Richard has been a friend of the gallery for almost 8, maybe 9 years already.
Yes.
And we've seen him grow in terms of his artwork, in terms of his businesses, basically. And he's a partner for the Monarch, not just as an individual, because a lot of our artists come from Callejon, the gallery. So, good afternoon, Richard.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
So I'm glad to be joining you in this podcast, and I hope yung mga manonood, they'll get something out of this
Yeah,
podcast.
I'm sure. So Richard, you know, we've known each other for a long time already, and we've both seen the art market develop. Me first as a collector, and then we were actually collaborating together first with Jazz Ancheta Interiors,
Yes.
for some projects, and now we're parang partner or brother galleries, di ba?
Yes.
Parang you have your artists, we exhibit. Anong changes ang nakita mo for the past decade or so ano yung mga trends that you're seeing in terms of both art, in terms of collectors? What are you seeing basically? And where is it going? Where do you think
Actually,
it's going?
nung mag-start ako talaga, 2009, somehow ang art trend was really going up. Ano?
Correct.
But I would guess na somewhere along 2017
Yep.
onwards, nagpipik na siya talaga. So I guess somehow, if you would prefer me to say it,
Yep.
medyo it's something like a golden age for Filipino art. Kasi
Okay.
maraming countries na nahihirapan pagdating
Really?
sa art market.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
But the Philippines, ang mga collectors natin, ang mga homeowners, they started loving Filipino art
Correct.
specifically.
Correct. So question po, you were talking about other countries basically having difficulties, and I know that you've exhibited in Korea, also in Indonesia, basically. Ano yung comparison or ano yung contrast to some of these markets to ours? Ano yung nakikita mong difference? As you said, collectors are falling in love with Filipino art. Pero we also have a partner gallery in Indonesia, and they've also been remarking na parang with regard to the younger artists in Jakarta, basically in Indonesia, they're having some difficulty nga getting them out there. So what do you think is the difference? What's the secret sauce of the Philippines?
Actually, ang difference, probably mga 3 or 4 na major. One is that if you exhibit abroad, it's really very difficult to sell.
Correct.
It's because somehow, very short period lang yung exhibits natin.
Correct.
So, like halimbawa, punta ka ng Art Expo, say New York or Indonesian Art Expo. If 3 or 4 days lang,
Correct.
medyo mahirap ang sales. Okay. But then, if we come up with the second difference, normally, ang mga Filipino artists, mabababa naman ang presyo.
Correct. Yes.
So like, ang isang European artist who would be selling here, yung presyo niya is already presyo ng isang master artist.
Like more solo or
so medyo mahal.
Or God forbid a Luna, di ba?
Yes. So kung i-consider mo yun, if you are a Filipino artist and you're selling abroad, somehow, with a longer exposure, mas madali namang ibenta. So, kung may market kayo abroad, I think, artists should, take it into consideration. Kasi, mabebenta mo ng magandang presyo. Okay. And then, yung third, na medyo madaling intindihin in a way. Kasi, I remember nung nagbenta kami sa US market,
Yeah.
hindi foreigners ang bumibili.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the buyers are also Filipino.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so, I guess...
To be nationalism, or is it more like familiarity with the art style? Or why do you think I know Filipinos buy Filipino, di ba? Pero besides the fact that you're probably supporting Filipino artists, alam ba nila kagad, Filipino artist to bibili ako?
Actually, hindi naman siguro ganon. Not because yung tema is Filipino. Kasi nung nag-exhibit ako, Japanese pop art ang ginawa ko. So, but then, they adhere to the fact na ang artist is Filipino.
Correct. So it's even like Filipino collectors supporting a Filipino artist.
Yes, but somehow naman, ngayon, nakikilala na rin kasi ang mga Filipino artists abroad.
Yes,
kasi
yes.
by comparison, magagaling ang mga Filipino
Correct.
artists.
Yes. I have to agree. Technically competent and very good. Diba?
I think ang difficulty lang talaga ng Filipino artist is talking about their works.
Why do you think that's so basically? I mean, they're good in expressing their artistry through their work, diba? Pero yun nga, I also noticed that as Gal.
So in fact, marami akong mga commission works na pinipila ko rin. So,
galing na.
Merong gusto magpagawa, no? Sinabi niya sa akin, 4 months pa. So ika-calendar ko na yun. So 2 months before, kukontakin ko na ulit, kukonfirm ko.
So meron kang parang progress.
Meron.
And even with your exhibits, probably you have
Yes.
that parang mindset. Oh, sige
With the exhibits, before, nagpo-propose ako sa mga galleries ng possible exhibits. But ibig sabihin nun, nagpo-propose ako ng isang concept na hindi pa gawa. But ngayon, hindi na gano'n.
Kasi you're already established.
Yes.
So then it's now more of a pull.
Yes, tinatapos ko na yung works at saka pa lang ako magpo-propose.
Because already you have already a base talaga.
Yes.
Let's talk about those stages. So ano masasuggest mo for starting artists, for example? Kasi right now we in the Monarch had an open call for artists, and we asked them to submit a CV, a proposal, portfolio, and parang napapansin ko hindi pa ganun ka well developed yung some of the concepts. Any tips out there to some of our artist audience that like to know more what is the proper way talaga at the start of your career talaga to establish? Kasi we started on the point, di ba, about project management mindset, having a correct cadence in your work. Pero you touched upon a good thing, which is how do you establish a good proposal? None. Of course, again, hindi na masyado.
The good proposal naman, as long as you come up with a good idea,
Correct.
I think that should be enough. Now, if I remember correctly, we did a webinar before.
Correct.
With Dr. Laya Bukiren, where she discussed proposal making for artists. So, I think it's available sa YouTube.
Okay. Okay, so guys, maybe you'd like to go to that YouTube video of Laya Bukiren.
So, kaya ko pinopromote
we'll place
yan.
we'll place it in the link.
Yes.
Kaya para at least you guys can take a
Kaya
look.
ko pinopromote kasi it's one of the best proposal making webinars I've ever seen.
Good.
Walang nonsense, walang bulahan.
Straight to the point.
Straight to the point. And if you listen to it, it's I think about 50 minutes.
So maraming information na hindi lang siya talagang, di ba?
Ano mo lang, you take
the notes.
You make a rundown of what you need to do. Then basically, even if you apply for a proposal grant from the NCCA or any other.
Actually, I had a discussion with an NGO that's working with NCCA, and that was their biggest problem too. Nakikita ko rin as a gallery owner, and probably you rin, diba? Parang, how do they submit? And as I said, audience, we will be coming up with a workshop for the artists in our audience, we will be coming up with a workshop for that. So now, so we talked about the proposal making, and yun nga, subject matter is very important. How about, kasi I know that you have a lot of collectors, and as a gallery owner, you're also promoting your artists. Ano napapansin mo, kasi nga, as you said, di ba, Filipino artists are world-class. Yes. But in terms of promotion, I like to think na we still have some areas for improvement, di ba?
I think that's one of the main difference ng isang artist-led gallery.
Correct.
We have a very small gallery,
yeah.
The 15 square art space.
Correct.
But ang difference lang namin is that we do not promote the works of the artist as a general artwork.
Okay.
So, meron kaming mga collectors who like dark works.
Okay.
Merong iba na mas
light.
Gusto nila figurative,
correct.
merong abstraction.
Okay.
So, we try to group together all of those collectors and just recommend the artist na po pwede sa kanila. Rather than lahat ng collector namin na magsasubmit kami. So, the moment na meron kaming show, halimbawa ngayon, Kring Dumalag, The Perfect Bite, mga pusa.
Correct.
So, somehow, yung mga kaibigan namin na
alam niyo na kagad kung sino niyo yung, ito, mahilig sa pusa.
May message sila sa amin, then that's the only time.
Mahilig sa kulay, di ba?
Yeah. So, we're not really into selling so much. Because we let our clients decide kung ano yung gusto nila. So, we just send them.
Pero as an artist, basically, as an art, kasi yun din na, before, now you're established, pero before you were trying to promote your work, di ba? Ano yung mga tips na mabibigay mo?
Okay.
To develop a cadre of collectors.
When I started in 2009,
yep.
the very first artwork that I did was a samurai.
Okay.
It's simply because favorite ko yung subject.
Okay.
So, but then, after 16 years, ang na-realize ko is that it would only mean something to me if I tell a story. So, the only story that I can tell is yung story na naramdaman ko, na pagdaanan ko, nakita ko, na-experience ko. So, that's why karamihan ng series na nilalabas ko has something to do with...
Be personal.
Yes. So, like, in the year 2000, nag-aaral ako mag-bonsai. The art of bonsai making. So, 2-3 years ago, I decided to do them in sculpture form.
And that's why you have a lot of bonsai.
Yes.
Again, it's about something about you.
Yes. So, pag nakita mo yung bonsai tree ko, these are not just regular trees. Because if you know the principle of a good bonsai making step, ito talaga yung makikita mo. The branching, the tapering, the placement of the branches, all the way from the roots to the trunk to the very tip of the branches. May principle kasi yan eh.
So yung principles that you've learned in the bonsai, ina-apply mo ngayon sa sculpture?
Yes. So I remember, naglabas ako ng Philippine folklore. It's because I love the Philippine folklore stories even when I was a kid. So mahilig ako sa tikbalang, so gumawa ako ng tikbalang. Mahilig ako sa mga Vikings, mahilig ako sa mga Norse gods, so naglabas rin ako. So, I guess, ang best advice ko sa isang artist is that, find the things that you love.
Correct.
And that's what you tell. Kasi,
and test and learn yun, di ba?
Oo, kasi
sometimes, maganda, gusto mo nga, pero the audience isn't ready for it, di ba?
May mga artist kasi minsan, pupunta sa isang art fair, mag-iikot, maganda to
Tapos kukopin.
Yun,
yung problema.
Tapos yung iba, mabenta to.
Oo, correct.
Ito na lang ang gagawin ko. But, maybe you sell a few, but afterwards,
wala na.
So,
tsaka to your point, you're looking at longevity, you're from both an artist and also from a collector standpoint, di ba? Ayaw mo, maganda to kasi ginaya niyo yung something o sumabay siya sa trend, di ba? Pero longevity-wise, parang maikli lang, di ba?
Take for example, halimbawa ang glass. Ang glass used to be done only by Ramon Ordina.
Correct. Yeah.
But now, left and right, marami nang
Yes,
gumagawa.
marami na.
So, but I guess, mahirap i-justify. Kasi, if you do glass, and ang itsura ng glass mo, is mukhang Orlina rin.
Wala, pinaka-Orlina.
Yes.
Diba?
But then some people would still buy from you, of course.
Of course.
But when it comes to artworks na would generally be viewed as a good art piece, ibang-ibang usapan.
Correct. Agreed.
So,
Kasi,
the same way na ako, nag-start ako sa in sculpting steel.
correct. The black steel.
The black steel. So, yan, dyan talaga ako unang-unang nakilala.
Tapos nag-brass ka.
Nag-brass ako kasi ang nag-aral naman ako talaga sa brass. But then when I was starting to line myself sa mga galleries, I was only doing steel. But then nung ini-exhibit na ako, they said, baka gusto mong gumawa ng brass. So that's when I decided that I wanted to do the brass as well. But then ang mga subjects na pinipili ko has nothing to do with the subjects na ginagawa ng mentor ko. Ang nagturo kasi sa akin si Ronald Castillo.
Yeah, Ronald Castillo.
So he was doing so much artworks up to now. So ako, with respect sa pagturo niya sa akin, nag-steel muna ako. So nung gumagawa ako ng steel, I was doing samurai works. Nakilala ako for doing black iron.
Correct.
Steel artworks.
That's now your brass.
Yes.
And now you're going to probably another medium in the future, right?
Most likely hindi.
Pero may copper ka na eh, di ba?
Yes, may copper.
Parang so the copper adds like may patina and
Kasi
everything.
before wala namang masyadong nagka-copper.
Correct,
Of course,
correct.
may mga artists pa rin na nagka-copper. Pero copper is so expensive. So I guess my works are a bit expensive in a way, no? Compared to regular artists. But if you consider the cost of material,
Of course. Tsaka of course your experience.
yes.
And where you've exhibited and everything. May story na rin eh, di ba?
Actually, isa pang advantage sa profession ko as an artist is that I'm previously doing architectural works.
Correct.
So as an architect, yung mga kaibigan kong mga architects and interior designers, they also come to me.
Parang kaya may kailangan na, I mean like my wife nga, di ba?
Yes.
You need something to accentuate or you need something talaga na...
Eh, dito ako nahihirapan ha.
Correct.
Kasi papakita nila sa akin ng litrato.
So, alam mo na kagad kung saan nalagay.
Oo. And then ako, because I understand the negative aspect of spaces as much as the positive. So, hindi rin ako nagpo-propose ng mga very expensive materials.
Correct.
So, you know, sa isang space, 1 or 2 lang, if it's enough, okay na.
Hindi mo na pupunuin talaga ng gusto.
Oh,
di ba?
pero pag malaki yung space niya, of course, you know, kailangan iti-tailor fit ko rin.
Bakit? Why do you think are some designers, architects, and even homeowners very... I mean, I see a lot of people who are able to parang put art pieces in their home, pero a lot are also parang wary. Ano kaya yun? And I see that more with the younger generation, basically. So, if you look at mga people who are Gen Zs, for example, maybe some of the younger millennials, as compared to some of our more tawag nga dito, and I don't think it's part of because of budget or whatever, pero they're afraid to collect or commit. Ano kaya yung napapansin mo? Is it because when you look at the younger crowd right now, they really want a more cleaner aesthetic? Kasi even in interior with my wife, they want more Scandi, more minimalist. As opposed to sa mga tawag nga dito, like we had a discussion with a client yesterday, parang more Mediterranean siya, and she was even inquiring about, pwede ba tayo maglagay ng artwork dito? Ano yung thinking mo basically around that? May generational differences kaya?
Well, definitely meron yun. But then, I guess siguro may tao kasing minimalist, meron din taong maximalist. So I guess malaking factor yun. Kung maximalist ka kasi, you will not be contented with just 1, 2, or 3 pieces of artworks.
Yeah.
So that's why, halimbawa, meron ako isang malaking wall. Pag meron akong biniling artwork, hindi ko isasabit agad. I'll wait for others. So pag meron na ako 10, saka pa lang ako magsasabi. So probably
so makikita mo na yung synergy ng artwork.
So kasi most likely 5 lang.
Kasi pag nilagay mo ng isa, basically parang, ikaw lang dyan. Pero hindi mo pa ma-feel yung vibe, di ba?
Yes. So ngayon, meron akong pinapagawang artwork in Melbourne Aquino. 4 na 4x8. 4 feet by 8 feet.
Wow, that's big.
So we conceptualized it as the 4 seasons.
Wow, nice.
So,
nice theme.
Spring, summer, fall, and winter. So you could just imagine that will be 8 feet by 16 feet. So
that's massive. That's massive.
So it's going to be the biggest, well, at least the biggest Melbourne Aquino artwork.
Moving into the futures, kasi I think we're almost at the end of our podcast, diba? What do you see in the future? Ano nakikita mong trends? Both as a gallery owner, both as a collector, as an artist. Let's start with the gallery owner. Kanina we were having a conversation about a lot of galleries having difficulty, hindi ba surviving.
Well, kasi,
and yun nga, as you said, di ba? They need to reinvent themselves in terms of their business model, di ba?
Marami kasing gallery yung bukas.
Correct.
Well, they were thinking na they can get into this business, but not thinking straight when they put up the business kasi they think na mahal ang
painting. Therefore, magandang
but
return.
Then you do not sell so much rent.
Agree.
Number 2, rental is very expensive.
Correct.
Kasi you need to be located at commercial spaces. Mostly mall spaces. So pagka nasa mall ka, you need to be registered with the LGU, with the BIR. You need to be paying taxes, tapos common usage ng area.
Kusa. Yeah.
Kusa. So, water, tao, electricity. So, all in all, malaki rin ang expense nila. If you're paying 50,000, 100,000, that's actually very low.
Correct.
Okay? But a lot of the galleries operate na mas malaki.
Correct.
And then, they are expecting na may mag-walk-in. But
correct.
What if pag walang walk-in?
Correct.
So it's very difficult. So you really have to do a very good marketing
campaign
in order to come up with a very good
actually may sales. Isa nga kaming friend na gallery. Parang she was expecting a lot. Marami siyang stable of artists. But now it's really difficult for her. And yun nga, besides, I think it's also the business model, di ba? Parang for me, like you, di ba? You're not just artist, you're also nagpo-commissions ka.
Yes.
You also have, for example, works that can be placed with interior designer or architects. You have Callejon, di ba? Which is your own art gallery. And then you also have, tawag nga, and I'm plugging it to our audience right now, na Callejon Cafe. It's really good, di ba? In terms of, so diversified ka, di ba?
Yes.
So it allows you to survive. What do you think will happen with all these other galleries? Ano nakita mo? Well, consolidation ba? Or whatever?
Marami na ako nakikitang galleries na nagsasara.
Correct.
And then some are advising me na, they will take another option in the future. So, kasi nga, mahal ang expenses nila.
Correct.
And that they have to maintain people also.
Correct.
Not just to take care of the gallery, but also to do marketing.
Correct.
So it's really very difficult for them kasi, even if you sell 100, 200,000 a month, rental and
tsaka expenses mo, correct.
That's about the same.
Yeah.
So it's really quite difficult for them. So I guess merong magsasara, merong lilipat ng
venue. They'll probably go out of commercial spaces.
Yes,
diba?
or yung iba siguro sa bahay na lang because they have a market naman. So we will see this coming year.
What do you think about art fairs? So before when we started, diba, parang there were about 2 or 3 art fairs a year. now parang almost every month or every other month,
Yes, that's
you have
right.
proliferation. Does it really help, or do you think it's more of a more noise rather than actually beneficial
Well,
to the artist?
if you ask me about it, syempre ako, pabor ako dyan. You know why? Because I'm an artist.
Of course.
I get represented. It's the galleries who pay.
Oo. Pero as an artist, ito lang yung I know you're very good, diba? But I've also noticed recently, and I've also got comments from other collectors na parang merong art fair fatigue. So the
Yes.
quality of the work that came out when the number of art fairs was just like 2 or 3 is now not comparable, right? So I won't name the art fair, pero
Yes.
parang they went and they said, it's not so exciting anymore. I go there, same old, diba? So parang and I see a trend wherein they really have to commission a few artists like yourself to participate, to create works talaga, to bring people in, di ba? When as before, organic eh, di ba? First time I met you in South Arts Fair, it was organic. There were a lot of great works, there were a lot of great artists. Pero from an artist perspective, yes, it's good for you. Pero wala pa kayang, especially for a new artist, wala kayang art fair fatigue na ang daming art fair.
Sigurado ko merong art fatigue. But the difference is, kapag nagkaroon ng art fatigue, ang isang festival or isang art fair, somehow magre-reconcile eh.
So mag-even-steven na yan. Parang sinasabi mo with the galleries.
Yes.
It'll come to a point in time talaga na may magsasarili na art fair.
Actually, meron na nagsasabi.
Alam pa yun. Sabi mo na yun, di ba?
Na.
Actually, may nakita na rin tayo na nagsara.
Yes. Meron din
wala.
At meron din nagbubukas.
Tapos meron din naging more aggressive, naging
pero yung mga nagbubukas, some will probably survive, but some also will not survive.
Yeah.
Especially ngayon, I talk to a lot of galleries, sinasabi nila mahina ang benta.
Correct.
Which is normal.
May seasonality yan eh.
Oo, merong peak, merong low season.
Correct.
So, I guess, ngayon, medyo naglo-low season.
Correct.
So, probably, well, one thing, nung magkaroon ng election,
talagang
malaki talaga ang effect sa market.
Oo.
Kasi siguro,
people were spending on the election rather than on other discretionary spending, di ba?
You know, mga bumibili, in a way, parang huwag muna tayong hintayin muna natin kung anong kalalabasan ng election. And that's, because I remember, yung first half of the year, very slow kami sa mga regular sales sa galleries. Pero the moment na mag-hit ang June 30,
bigla nag-peak. Pareho tayo, basically.
July 1, madami nang bumibili sa
akin. Actually, third quarter was really good for us.
Yes.
First 2 quarters were difficult.
Yes.
Third quarter was good. Ngayon, fourth quarter, nasusustain pa namin siya.
Yes.
Pero, first 2 quarters was really bad. Pero, it's part of the business, diba?
Yes.
How about the artist direction? Ano nakikita mo? Magkakaroon ba ng consolidation rin in terms of artists? Kasi, ako as a gallery owner, we actually came out and asked for a call for artists. Parang and maybe my assistants can help out with this, pero parang in a sea of about mga 10 or about 15 submissions, I only see 1 or 2 talaga that original na ang thinking ko they were not looking just at technique but at subject matter. As you said, something that speaks to you. Parang kumukonti yung mga artists na medyo, in my view, na medyo bankable in the future. And the artists like yourself, and of course the other artists talaga that are more, like, napansin ko is, yung output nila bumababa na rin, di ba? Like for example, if you look at really mga named artists right now, si Esquilio, for example, or even people like si Robert, di ba? Pesana, you can see their output talagang medyo tapering off na ngayon, di ba? But the younger ones, parang kumukonti yung ano nila.
But itong dalawang artists, si Alfred at si Robert,
Alfred,
they're established. So somehow, kahit hindi mo sila makita in exhibits, I'm sure that
gumagawa pa rin sila.
Yes, tuloy-tuloy pa rin.
Pero parang if you go to I go back to the art fair mentality ulit, I go there and I see the same people. Same people, some variation of output, but not different. Not like yung na medyo nakikita ko eh. Pero ang iba sa kanila, tried and tested. We have a friend, the sculptor, who decided to have this certain genre, tapos he moved out to Metro Manila, di ba, set up this very, now I see him, parang it's still the same thing, di ba? Parang, and then when I look at the younger generation, they imitate these established artists, pero we're not seeing any. Are you seeing that, or?
Well, yeah, nakikita ko. But I think the question there is not whether the artist has come up with a good new series or not. Because the question always is that, what does the gallery want?
Correct.
Them to do?
So the gallery talaga is the one dictating. And
In a way,
usually,
kasi,
the gallery thinks what's saleable, quote-unquote.
Parang sasabihin ko sa'yo, itong binibenta ko, itong mabenta sa akin.
Correct.
So kung itong mabibenta ko,
ito dapat gawin mo.
Oo. Kasi ako, I move on to my new series.
Which is probably what you're connecting with the previous question. Parang, in order to create a more viable environment, you have to play a balance between what is saleable and what's artist supported.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I come up with a new series, because there are series din na ginawa ko na, hindi naman ganun kasikat. But that's part of the art making process.
Correct.
You come up with an artwork, you present it, nagustuhan nila pero hindi nila binili. It's okay.
It's okay.
Then afterwards, you come up with a new series. Like, when I came up with the bonsai series,
Correct.
It was well
And then you decided to
accepted.
talagang double down on it.
Yes.
Okay.
But then, next year, I will still be doing some bonsai trees, but I will come up with
a new series. Watch out for that.
So, one way I do the series is that I never come up with a series na hindi ko nilo-launch na malaki. So, like, if yung bonsai tree, nung nilaunch ko yan, I think it was a solo show for the Art Lounge Manila. 27 artworks yun.
Wow, that's a
and
lot.
big ones.
That's a lot.
So, people can understand na what I'm doing is not just for sales.
It's really more of a marketing effort.
Hindi lang marketing
and
effort.
And it's visibility.
Yes.
Correct.
Bukod pa rin sa visibility, it's something that I really want to do because I really love bonsai trees.
And you're trying to establish parang imprint in the mind of the
Yes.
collectors now. This is something that you should watch out for.
So it's kasi pag gumagawa ka ng bonsai tree, hinihintay mo magkaroon ng sanga.
Correct.
Pag nagkaroon ng sanga, shape mo.
Yes.
Ito, ang difference, pag ginawa ko na yung trunk, saka pa lang ako nagde-decide kung saan ko lalagyan ng sanga. And I can work 2-3 hours straight doing all of those things. Kasi, as a sculptor, I start with the roots, the trunk, all the way up to the very end of each branch hanggang makuha ko yung shape. So yan, dalawa lang kaming gumagawa kasi meron akong spotter.
Correct.
So the moment na matapos yan, at saka lang i-full web, and then I have assistants who would attach the leaves. So yun lang ang
Pero yung the overall concept
overall ako. And then like I said earlier sa'yo, kanina, when we were talking, hindi ako nag-i-sketch. So
it's really organic talaga.
Yes.
Which is yung unique. Unique one.
Kung ano yung kalabasan niya in the end, it could be something na you would like, or probably si Jazz gusto, or si ganito
or maybe the audience. Yeah.
Oo. So
we'll be putting also some links in our podcast to some of the works that Richard has in our gallery. Maybe you're interested, and we'll take a look at that.
yes.
So now we're about to wrap up. Ano yung mga last few words mo to our audience? The audience of the Monarch, who is a broad audience. Meron tayong collectors, meron tayong artists, meron tayong people who are attending our workshops, meron tayong mga people looking to wine, and then mga interior designers, everything. Ano yung one thought that you'd like to leave them?
Siguro for mga collectors tsaka mga art lovers, hindi naman kasi kailangan natin bumili ng mahal na artwork.
Agreed, yes.
So, it's always good to ask the galleries for the prices kasi, you know, a lot of galleries sell naman affordable artworks.
They shouldn't be intimidated about that.
Yes.
Agreed.
But one thing I've noticed is that yung mga new generation ngayon, they are quite able to work themselves around art galleries na. Hindi pareho before. Before, I mean, I remember before, pag nakakita ka pa lang ng art gallery, ayaw mo nang pumasok eh.
Correct.
Mahal yan. But nowadays,
actually, napansin ko ngayon, maraming pumapasok sa art gallery yan. May mga estudyante or mga starting professionals, di ba?
So, it's a good thing.
That's good.
You know, maybe 6,000, 10,000 pesos you can
buy.
And then for, you know, the people in general, mga collectors, I hope you find ways to support the art industry, the artists as well. Kung may mga projects kayo like house, condominiums, gusto nyo magmukhang tapos.
Or a monument. Installation, di ba?
Yes, so hopefully next year, I'll be able to come up with...
Yeah, we'll probably partner together that. That's one of the thrusts we want to do for 26.
More public
space.
More public sculptures.
Correct.
Mga malalaki talaga.
That's one of the things that I'm thinking about for 26. And that's good. So Richard, thank you very much again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I hope our listeners and our viewers really like this podcast. Very good notes about art, artists, collection, curation. And if you want to find out more about our art gallery, we will have it in the link, and more about also Richard's works in the link. Thank you very much. And let's see you in the next episode.